looking at some below normal temperatures over the next day or so, but big changes as we get into the weekend and an unsettled weather pattern setting up starting Saturday as well. If you were outside earlier today, especially south side into North Carolina, we saw a few more clouds. At times it looked like it was going to rain, but you can see the radar is sweeping clear locally. The cold front that came through this weekend well off towards the south, and that's where the showers and thunderstorms have been. The clouds have been developing courtesy of those easterly winds coming in off the bay and the ocean and the sounds. Meanwhile, we're watching a lot of moisture gathering down here across the deep south. Eventually, that will start to lift back northward, setting up that prolonged period of wet weather as we start Saturday and right through much of next week. That front will lift north and then pretty much stall across areas of the northeast, but that'll allow that tropical moisture to build in, and we're looking at a chance for showers and thunderstorms Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right through pretty much of next week. Through the rest of the evening, partly cloudy skies, that easterly wind continuing. Temperatures at 7 o'clock right around 80 degrees or so. We'll drop back into the 70s by 9, 10, 11, and even some 60s showing up. And that's where we will start the day tomorrow. Most spots in the 60s, some low 60s back near Interstate 95, low 70s right near the water, courtesy of those winds once again coming off the bay, the sounds, and the Atlantic Ocean. As we go through the day, those easterly winds will bring in a few more clouds. Could be an isolated shower once again in a couple of spots. I think a little bit of a better chance will come later into the day as that moisture across the south starts to work its way towards the north. Most of the day should be dry, but as we get into the evening and the overnight hours, those rainfall chances will go up. 11 o'clock, looking at a few showers mainly across North Carolina, but notice how everything starts to lift northward. So by Saturday morning, we're looking at a good chance at some scattered showers, possibly a few thunderstorms, and that will continue right into the afternoon. And with those winds coming in out of the east and picking up, temperatures will only be in the lower 80s as we get into the afternoon on Saturday. Looks like wet weather Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right through much of next week. Beautiful shot from the Beach Quarters Resort out along the ocean front. We had the mostly sunny skies this morning. A few clouds moved in from time to time, courtesy again of those easterly winds, but that didn't stop folks from heading out towards the beach. And temperatures coming in right now pretty much in the mid 80s across Hampton Roads. 85 degrees the official temperature out at the airport. Easterly winds at 11 miles per hour. It's 82 in Smithfield and Chesapeake, 90 though up in Tappahannock, 87 in Hertford, 86 in Williamsburg, 80 in Wachapreague, and 81 in Kill Devil Hills. So for tonight, partly cloudy, continued mild, 71 degrees, partly sunny tomorrow with a high of 84. Tomorrow night, we'll look for a chance of a shower, thunderstorm in a few spots, 72, but a good chance at some rain as we go through the day on Saturday. Muggy and warm, high temperature of 86 degrees. Sunday, scattered showers and thunderstorms, a high of 89. 89 on Monday, scattered showers and storms, and then we'll call for isolated showers and storms for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That just means fewer of them, but temperatures remaining right about where we should be this time of year in the upper 80s.